Hey everybody, welcome to homerecordingmadeeasy.com and here on my YouTube channel. And this week's installment in the Studio Biz career tips for home studio owners. Tip number 3, invest in your craft. So what do we talk about when we mean invest in your craft? Well, it can mean a couple of different things. Let's jump over to the next slide and let's go through them and let's talk about investing in your craft. So when you're new and first starting out and running a studio business or start taking in clients, even if it's for fun, and recording other people or mixing other people's work, you obviously want to be really good at what you do. That goes without saying. So you need to have a pretty objective look at yourself and your skill set and what you need to work on, and realize that no matter how long you've been in this business or how long you've been mixing or how long you've been recording or mastering or music production or whatever, just like playing an instrument, you can always get better. So the first thing you want to kind of think about when we talk about investing in your craft is you want to understand what you're good at and what you need to work on. Kind of just what I said. So you have to kind of take an objective look at your skill set and say, okay, what things are you really good at and what things do you need to work on? So for example, if you're a mixing engineer, you may be really good at going through the technical end of things and going through getting your tracks cleaned up, getting things EQ'd. You may be really good at EQ, and you may be really good at getting, balances and getting the mix to kind of sound pretty balanced, pretty even. But let's say you struggle with understanding compression, for example, and you're not really have a real firm grasp on how you can use compression to your best advantage to make your track sound bigger and fuller and more dynamic and tighter and all those words that we use. So that may be something you want to work on. You want to get better at compression or whatever the case might be, but you want to understand what you're good at. You want to understand what you need to work on, and you want to be able to go seek out the information and the training that you need to get better at the things that we need to work on. So number 2 is you want to try to seek out some people that are further along that you are and observe what they do. So if you want to be, let's say again, you're just starting out with your home studio business and you want to eventually move to a full-time career running your studio business and everything that entails. Well, then what you want to do is you want to try to find people that are already there, people that are already doing that, people who have started off to your similar situation and has now built themselves to a point where they are doing their home studio full time. And you want to kind of observe what they're doing and take, tips and techniques from them to kind of push yourself in that direction. So you want to try to hang out and be around people that are a little bit better than who you are and where you are, I should say, in your career. And you want to observe what they're doing and try to borrow ideas from them to further your career along. Okay, number 3 is you want to be willing to spend some money on educating yourself. This is a big one today, especially with the younger crowd, the younger guys coming up and the younger gals coming up. Today in the world of YouTube, everybody wants stuff for free. Everybody wants free music on the internet. They want free YouTube videos. And it's becoming less and less that people are willing to spend money on getting better at their craft. And I know this because I offer products for sale, and I'm amazed at how many people email me and go back and forth, and they're just not willing or not able to put a little bit of, money up to better educate themselves, to make them better at what they do so they can in turn get that money back by bringing in better clients, bringing in a little bit more high profile clients, working with people who have a little bit more money to spend. So, the old saying is, in order to make money, you got to spend some money. And so you got to be willing, no matter where you are in your studio career and where you are in your engineering career, mixing career, recording engineer career, music production career, whatever it is, you got to realize that you can always get better. And again, it's just like, being playing an instrument, a guitar player or a drummer. Just because you can play really well doesn't mean you can't get better, and people spend money on taking lessons and things of that nature. So you should do the same as far as your education goes, as far as your studio business is concerned, whether that's spending some money on some marketing type training to help better market yourself, whether that's spending a few bucks on just overall business courses and books and seminars to get better at business, whether that's money on being better at what you do, mixing and mastering, if that's what you're into, whether that's better than whether you want to get better at anything in your career. You got to be willing to put up some money. Not everything is for free. And YouTube is a great resource to get yourself started. But a lot of time YouTube and the people that put videos on YouTube are a little bit limited to what they can put up and what they can offer. And typically you will find more in-depth and more fully featured training offline. So a good way to find a good teacher is find someone on YouTube that you really enjoy and you like learning from, and then try to find out what they do, if they offer any products or services that can help you along in your career. Okay, so that leads me into number 4. Not everything is for free. A lot of times you get what you pay for. So yes, there's a lot of free resources online today, and with the internet, you can learn a lot online, certainly. But again, you're not always going to get as far when you're looking just for the freebie stuff. There are exceptions to that rule, certainly. But in more times than not, you're going to find that when you're willing to find the right teacher, find the right information that you're looking for to help you further yourself along in your studio business and your career, that a lot of times you're going to pay for that information, pay for that training, and there's nothing wrong with that. To this day, and I've been doing this a long time, and I do this full time, I'm still learning, and I still sign up for things here and there, and I still pay to get training and to get more educated or better educated on stuff and the things that I need to know to run and make my business more successful. And you should do the same, especially when you start taking in some clients and you have some money coming in. You want to reinvest that money and reinvest it in yourself. Get better at what you do. Okay, number 5, learn in as many different ways as possible. Different types of teachers, different types of techniques. You may find yourself, maybe spending a couple of bucks on a couple of different systems before you find something that really clicks with you. That's all part of the investing in your craft. It's a business expense. It's the price of doing business sometimes. But try to learn as in many ways as you can from different people, different techniques, different concepts, different thoughts, different workflows, so on and so forth. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And a lot of times when you're first starting off and you're trying to find yourself into what works for you, you have to go through the process of learning from many different people to figure out, pulling little bits and tips from each one of those people to develop your own workflow and develop your own system on the way you do things. Okay. Number 6, some things you can train yourself on. And an example of this, I wrote drum recording because this is what I did. So if you wanted to get better at, let's say you're a recording engineer and you want to learn how to record drums, sure, you can go out and you can pay someone to teach you how to record drums. You can look online, you can buy some videos. But one way in this particular example is you can buy yourself a cheap drum kit. Go on Craigslist, buy yourself a $150, $200 drum kit, change the heads out on the drums to get some nice heads and tune the drums properly, and learn trial and error. That's what I did when I first started learning how to record drums. One of the things I did is bought myself a drum kit, and I'm not a great drummer, but I can play a little bit, and I would put microphones on the drum kit and I would record myself playing 4 bars of music, and I would go into the control room and listen. And then I would start working on things like the kick drum and moving the kick drum microphone a couple of inches to the left or to the right of the initial placement to see what that does to the sound, moving it closer to the beater, pulling it further away from the beater, these kinds of examples. And I did it trial and error, and I did that for months to really understand what mic placement was, how it worked, what the differences was, and how I moved microphones around, different types of microphones. And I kind of coupled that with some training that I took online, some stuff I saw on YouTube, and I figured out over time how to do drum recording. And you could do the same thing with drums, with vocals, with guitars. So some of this stuff you can train yourself. The only money you have to spend is the time that it takes you. Time is money, so spending your time to learn how to do that stuff. But I think that's a real good way to learn how to do it, is just by doing, and if you have the ability and the space and the access to get your hands on some stuff, to do some of this training yourself, that'll save you some money, but it's something that'll also force you to really jump in the deep end of the pool and work through whatever thing you're trying to learn. Okay, and then again, remember, even the top mix engineers in the business still are trying to get better. We're all learning. Even if you're online, listening to the top names in the business, they're all learning, they're all teaching, and when people teach, you'll tend to learn a lot when you teach people. I learned so much by trying to teach you guys that everyone is trying to get better. and that even when you're doing great work, and even when the clientele is rolling in and you got more work than you can handle, you can always be better. And you always want to try to invest in yourself, and again, invest in your craft to get better and get better and get better, because it's a journey. It's not something that just takes, you know, a certain amount of time. You're going to be learning and trying to get better for the rest of your days, and that's a good thing. So invest in your craft, invest in yourself, be willing to go out and spend a few bucks to get some training if that's what you need. Turn yourself on to learning how to do some of the things yourself. Again, going back to the drum recording example, seek out other people, find out what they're doing, try to observe and copy on some level some of the things that they're doing. Don't steal anybody's work. Don't steal anybody's concepts, you know, word for word, but you know, go out there and see what they're doing, and emulate the people that you respect in the business and people that you find that are further along than you. You want to get to where they're at. Well, you got to find out what they're doing and do the same things or same types of things. And then again, lastly, like we said as point number one, understand what you're good at. Understand what you need to work on, and then go from there. So I hope this was helpful. Again, go out to homerecordingmadeeasy.com for more information, more free training, more tips and tricks, mixing, mastering, the whole kit and caboodle at homerecordingmadeeasy.com. And until next time, this is David Vignola, and I will talk to you guys all soon. Take care.